I've stuffed it.
–21 degrees. Yeah, Ed was never getting out of the car, was he?
No.
So we're going to have a barbecue on Sunday.
Yeah. Is that a bear or a moth?
Where?
Can't you hear it up on this light?
Can't see what it is. So we got that big watering can still?
Yeah, why?
Oh, about a week. I'll put a seaweed solution through the plants. Hello, Hammer Eckerson. I work intelligence for both sides. You're a double agent. A conniving Canuck. No, I'm just kidding. Double agent. Mr. Eggers, if you undertake this mission, there will be no support. You won't exist. My knees are so itchy, Em says. Do you want just to reply to her and say that's normal? That's the toxins in her body being released. Till after she's finished, just wash your legs. want to get technical, it's her lymphatic system operating better.
How do you spell them?
L-Y-P-H-A-M, sorry, A-T-I-C, L-Y-M-P-H-A-T-I-C, yep, lymphatic system, which removes toxins from the body. So, is it getting warmer? Hammers, imagine it's slushy, not a cold, wet. The melt. Don't like that myself.
What else do you want me to tell her?
No, that's fine. This sounds normal. It's a nice night, no wind, 21 degrees. It's not cold. If it was windy it would be, but
So when she's finished, walk around a bit slowly, then have a shower.
good idea. Yeah. End of winter. Well, we hope to see the end of summer because it's still been hot. Last week it was 103. Someone forgot to tell the planet that it's the middle of autumn here.
That's all she asked you? I did tell her that earlier, actually.
Yeah, it's a normal reaction when your lymphatic system starts draining fluid. It can come through the pores and itch because there are toxins. And she will feel thirsty. We got our half wine barrels yesterday. Going to get our fruit trees tomorrow. Of course, we don't expect any fruit for a year, but or two. But you never know.
She said her pelvis and legs feel so free.
Is that what she said?
So do another lot tonight or don't do another one till tomorrow?
I do a couple during the day. Like do one
So no
in the
more
morning
tonight.
and one at night. Well, whenever she feels like it, really. Well, I imagine you might be planting some stuff, Hammers. Maybe grow something. We've started off a little garden. Get some bits and pieces out of it. Think about getting a garden shed.
Works intelligent for both sides, does he?
Yes, I don't know what that means, but it sounds top secret.
So I better not talk about it then.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more.
I just didn't think you sat on the pad.
Yeah. So when you put it behind your back, put the motor down near your spine.
Yeah, but you're leaning on it. I just realised you'd never, just don't ever remember.
I do. I used to do it for a living. The smoke's going out under the light.
Yeah. Maybe the angle, I don't know why that light just started working.
Dunno.
But the one over there did the same thing once.
Mm-hmm. Give it another 5 or 10. If the regular crowd doesn't drift in, we'll call it an early night. Nah, doesn't look like this at all. There's fire, meteorites, volcanoes blowing up, no beer. That's the end of the world. Picking up a second-hand Barbie on Sunday. Not a big one. It's got a side burner, but I'll clean it up and we might have a Barbie on Sunday. Take a bit of steak, some snags. Maybe you can make a potato salad up.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Actually, you can tell Ed about these boxes.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say anything till.
No, till they're empty.
Yes. No, it's never going to magically improve. It's going to be a case of we'll have to live with it. Another thing.
Well,
As
I tend to disagree. I think it will improve. I think there are going to be second waves of it. I think there won't be how we used to operate in society. I think there'll be dots on the floors everywhere you go, restriction of numbers in restaurants, pubs, hotels. Maybe they'll move, say they've got 20 dining tables, maybe they have to move 5 or 6 of them. I think those sort of things will be the new normal. And everything will come back slowly. In other words, Hammers, if you and I worked in a factory of 100 people and we all got laid off, they'd probably get the 20 most experienced to come back first, try and do distancing between wherever we are working, or set up shields. And the reason why you're only bring 20 back out of the 100, because there'll be no demand at the start. People are going to be very cautious in spending any money on anything. So there won't be a great deal of consumer spending, which means restaurants, even if they do the distancing of the tables, they might not get a lot of people to start with. So they'll put on just a couple of people, a cook, a waitress, etc. And it will gradually come back. It will all be dependent on what happens. Going back early, like I'm hearing in the US, I think it's a nightmare. There's no national consensus.
People are desperate for money, that's why.
Well, I did say a couple of weeks ago, people are going to get angry.
They're not thinking of the consequences.
Well, short-term gain, long-term loss. You'll probably hear that phrase used, if a second wave. Because if you go back too early, and it's even as bad or worse than it is now, your economy's totally shot. So a gradual introduction, in other words, 20% of the workforce goes back, see how it goes. Yeah, it will be the new world. It won't be the old world. Like I say, there'll be distancing, there'll be dots on the ground, there'll be limitations. But like I say, unless they do it cautiously, it's going to be a disaster. I would use the analogy like you've got Michigan. I think they've got a lot of cases and they've had a lot of deaths. Now they're screaming the public to go back to work. If I said, okay, nowhere else on the planet there wasn't any virus, it's just in Michigan, it's just happened today, and there are 1,000 deaths, well, none of them would go back to work. It's the collective. It's the thought of everyone being out of work, no production, productivity's down, GDP's shot in the arse. So everyone's angry. But if it was just Michigan that had this problem, no one in Michigan would leave their homes. But that's not what's happening. They're protesting. They're banging on the houses saying, the council saying, we want to start work again. I understand the anger. I understand people not having much money, people getting hungry. But to go back too early, I believe, is going to be a huge mistake. We stopped it immediately. We all stopped working. In Australia, it's been a great success. We've taken it. Most people stopped doing things before we were told to stop doing them here. I believe Canada's not too bad, but we've lost 64 people. That's all we've lost. We're testing everywhere. And there will be a gradual roll back into work, but it won't be everyone that was off will get back on. But like Canada, we've got everyone here who's been put out of work gets $1,500 every fortnight, or about $3,500 a month. That's what they're getting from the government for not working, and it's guaranteed for 6 months. So you can gradually roll employees back into a business cautiously, knowing that whether you're working or not working, there's income coming in. I'm pretty sure that's not the case in the US. They're not being looked after to that extent, like mortgages are frozen, personal loans are frozen.
That's right, and that's what will drive people just to go back to work.
But if you've got no income, you're going to get angry. There's no food, you've got kids. Yeah, there's going to be a problem with violence. I'd said this weeks ago where you might see riots on the streets of the US, nothing to do with what we would normally think, just angry about the situation. And blaming everyone, blaming governors and mayors and the federal government, whatever. But if you're not willing to do it cautiously and just all go back at once, it will be a mitigated disaster. And it's okay if we go back slowly and it's looking good, and then we put more people back into work and it's still looking good. Makes sense to me. You know the saying, Hammers, fools rush in. There's a lot of things worse than going hungry. There's being dead. Going hungry means you're still alive. You're not that hungry when you're dead. I don't know what the figure of deaths in the US is, but I know it's 30-odd thousand. You got 3,790 in the mail from the government. Well, you're not going to go hungry. You're probably frustrated. We've got 5 kids and 10 grandkids. We saw one of the grandkids in a car today. She didn't get out. But contact with our family is very important to us. And we just accept what we have to do. In about another 3 weeks, there's a review in regards to doing what I just said. Maybe sending some of the workforce back gradually. Like I said, like you've received money, every Australian's getting money every fortnight. So money's not the issue. Frustration and boredom are in Australia, and most people are doing the right thing. And we have an incredibly low contraction rate of the virus and a very low death rate compared to the rest of the world. And our testing is really high. So I'm not saying we're a model to follow, but what we've done seems to be working. And if you know Australians at all, we're mad on sport. You name it, they either play it, watch it, or live and breathe it. Australians, that's what it's all about. And none of that's happening. There's going to be a lot of babies in 9 months, let's be honest.
I hope not.
Well, I think there will be.
But I mean, you're talking about the whole world then. I hope that doesn't happen.
No, you don't. Hammers, if you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear flowers in your hair.
Yeah, I think he's tongue-in-cheek, that comment.
You're going to see countries, without doubt, go back too early. You are going to see it.
Well,
and you're going to see the the consequences are going to be severe if you go back too early. Hello, Mr. Speed. There's a lot of peripheral damage being done in retirement homes, nursing homes. People are innocuously going there and passing on the virus. And around the world, thousands and thousands of old people are dying because of the virus. We've got, I forget which one, I think it's New South Wales, where there's something like 20 staff who live on site. They've decided not to go home to their husbands and children. They're staying on site with the old people. They've got like trailers outside they sleep in. So no one's leaving the area they work, and no one has the virus. That's dedication, obviously, and it's not possible for all people. But that works. A lot of people forget in nursing homes it's not just feeding them and cleaning their beds and clothes. It's washing them, physical contact. So transition of the virus is really simple if that's taking place with people that are infected. I know some in Europe are actually, like the swing shift, when they come in at midnight, they're tested. There's a 15 or 20 minute test. And if anyone looks dodgy at all, they don't get to work. And then the rest come on. And then the next shift, they do the test again. And that makes sense to me. You know, it's not fail safe, but it's better than not doing it. But you're right, we're not going back to the old ways because it won't be possible. That's right, Hammers. You have to sacrifice your lives for those people who laid their lives on the line during war, built your country, dams, roads, probably built some of the automobiles that you've driven, and basically taught you some great knowledge. But yeah, I don't look at them as old people. I look at them as young people with wrinkles. They built our countries. They should have our highest respect. Not all of them, because some were obviously dickheads, but most of them worked hard, contributed to society. Like I say, built bridges, roads, railways, dams, and we owe a lot to them. So, tongue in cheek, I know you said it, but the truth is, you know I'm right. These people we're indebted to, and they shouldn't be thrown away. Because we'll be young people with wrinkles before you know it. Yeah. I know your tongue's firmly pressed into your cheek saying these things, Hammers, but if I said to you, if you had your mother or father who passed away, if I could give you 2 weeks with them, now, would you take it? I mean, the one thing it's definitely exposed, Hammers, without doubt, is the volatility of people living basically month to month, and how devastating in some countries where there are no supplements coming in the mail, there are no monies going into your bank, and you will really struggle, and you will get angry. That's what we're starting to see in the US, and I said this about 3 weeks ago, would happen.
And
Frustration and anger.
We're all going to get old one day.
Oh shit, I'm banging on the door. Don't know about you. There's no age for freedom, young or old. I think what we're seeing in the frustration, and I'm sorry if I upset anyone saying this, a lot of people around the world are just selfish pricks. It's all about them, me, me, me. And that's been taken away from them. They can't get down to the coffee shop and have a latte. They can't wander into the park to do a bit of exercise and lay on the grass. And they're pissed off because it's all about me, me, me. I hope one thing that comes out of this, Hammers, is that it's actually about we, not me. It's always been about us, not just I. I hope some young people realise that this is, everyone's in it. It's not just, you can't blame old people. You can't blame young people who have died also, nurses and doctors who have died, which I find very sad. But I do realise that this generations we've had, probably for the last 2 generations, are selfish bastards. It's all about them. Where's the we gone? The community? Well, I think we're seeing a bit of it now. A lot of people are stepping up and doing things that they haven't done before. Checking on old people, delivering food, shopping for old people.
Well, not just old people.
Or vulnerable people. There's a lot of people who have immune deficiency systems that are young.
Single parent, whether it be single mother or father, with kids, they're getting help as well.
So for all those people that I've been watching on US television who are angry, banging down the doors of their local municipalities and basically just saying, we want to go back to work now. We'll take the risk. I don't know whether they realise what they're doing.
Well, we're not in that country. Let them do it.
That's fine. I just think it's foolish. But as far as a nation, they've been led badly for 2 months by a king, self-imposed. We've heard that before, Hammers, haven't we? I'm king of the free world, and my hair's real. But without doubt, there'll be a reckoning on China. There'll be trade embargoes. There'll be withdrawal of manufacturing companies. I would not be surprised to hear an announcement from Apple saying it's moving back to the US. Hello, Blue Topaz. I can tell you, Blue, that I heard on the radio earlier this morning, Jacinta and Scott Morrison have been talking. And when we do start to release and relax a few of the laws, the only two countries that'll be travelling between Australia will be between Australia and New Zealand. That'll be the first countries opened up. Why? Because we've been listening to what we've been told to do. Like I say, I don't live in America. I don't vote in America. I have no rights to say what I think about America in America, but I'm in Australia. And I'm looking in thinking, there's a lot of crazy people there. There's a lot of not thinking correctly, properly. I know why some people are panicking in America. The media's gone gangbusters saying, oh, we're running out of food. And, you know, the producers are throwing milk and food away. And everyone's thinking, shit. Yeah. Yep, Blue, like I say, our two countries, we started to react before we were told to, and I'm pretty sure you guys did too. You know, kids were pulled out of school before they said, oh, maybe leave your kids at home. They were already home. Before they closed the school down, there was 5% of children at school. The rest have been kept at home. We can't leave districts in our state. And, you know, WA is a big state. I've got a daughter in the northern district and a son in the southern district. They can't travel to us and we can't travel to them. But they know why. Like I said, I thought about this a few weeks ago and I can see the anger in the US. And I can see riots, burning buildings, but it's not the normal riots that we're used to. This is just pure anger and frustration. And that doesn't get you anywhere. They've just got to make sure these people get food, get a bit of money, and get by. $1,200 someone said the Americans are getting, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's for this week. What happens next week? No, nothing else. They might, if they're lucky, get unemployment.
Oh, okay, I have to go look that one up. I didn't see that, Blue. I have to go listen to that. What was it on? What, your local news or?
Oh, she could probably give you a link, I suppose.
Well,
No, she's been good. We've admired her from Australia for standing up tall and strong.
And you just got to tell me what it was on, Blue, and I can look for it.
I mean, in Australia, people that have breached the quarantine laws, Blue, are in jail. So, no soft finger approach if you keep reoffending. I don't know what you guys are getting every fortnight, but if you were working and not working now in Australia, they're getting $1,500 a fortnight. So they don't need to worry about money. They'll get by. Their mortgages can be frozen. Personal loans can be frozen. It's just the frustration and boredom that people are going through. But people here have been pretty good. We've been fortunate in many ways. We've had things we have to do around the property because we just finished the construction. There's other bits and pieces we're doing. So we're occupied. I know if I was still working, I'd be frustrated, but I know that it would be silly to go back. I read that prisons in WA and most prisons around Australia, staff are decontaminated before they go into the prisons. So, like I say, everyone's trying to do the right thing. But I tell you what, Blue, I imagine within about 3 to 6 months, you're going to have a hell of a lot of Australians touring New Zealand. No, I tell people, Blue, that we're living through history that probably my kids and grandkids will never see again. I certainly won't. But I try to explain to them that this is unique, it's awful, it's something that's happened before. We're fortunate to have modern technology with us this time. And common sense in my country and your country seems to be at least being taken heed of. You've had the odd buffhead, and so have we, but like I say, the buffheads that keep repeating offences here by going out, they're in prison. Some who've been warned twice are wearing ankle bracelets. So are we taking it seriously? Yep. But like I say, there's money coming into your bank, you've got food in the fridge, you've got a roof over your head, no one's going to evict you. We've got laws that stop anyone getting evicted. So search William Choi. I can't at the moment, but I'll come back on your text later. Yeah, look, I'm in Perth, and basically you'll hear cars all day, you'll hear 30 to 40 planes take off every day. Have a listen.
Footy practice.
Footy. You can just hear a train coming into an empty railway station because no one's out and about. Remember that info, don't go back. William Choi, C-H-O-Y. If you went back on one of my videos about middle of January, I think it was, I said the best way to fight this is to do nothing. Meaning, just stay home. I did a video saying, how about the 1st of April, everyone stays home, you've had enough time to shop, get food, till the 1st of May, around the whole globe. That would have made a significant difference. But it's like living out in the country at the moment. There's no noise. Birds are everywhere. I think it's a generation of people, particularly I think from 20 to about 40, that are just angry and frustrated. It's not normal. It's like some of the figures coming out of the UK are still terrible. And we don't know what the hell's going on in Indonesia, except they're burying a lot of people. If we could just have done nothing for 30 days, would have helped greatly. But some people, leaders of certain countries, said we're going to be holding hands in church on Easter Sunday, singing hallelujah. Stupid. What I would have done this time, Hammers, if everyone had sat in their ass for 30 days, there'd be a lot of people still alive. I have no doubt we are going to read of some terrible consequences, not just the US, but other countries that go back too early. It will be disaster in little hotspots all around the globe. And if you think about what I'm really saying, for the corporations, it's greed. But I admired the report I read this morning from major businesses in the US who said they want to get back to work, but unless there's a rigorous testing regime in place, they're not going to. So that probably didn't turn out as someone thought it might. Old people are everywhere, not just in nursing homes. But I'll tell you the story that's not being told, Hammers, is that, give you an example, 100,000 people, just random figures here, 100,000 people have the infection, 5,000 people have died, 20,000 have recovered. There's something missing there, if you see what I'm saying. There's 65,000 people not accounted for that are still sick and having complications with their organs, breathing, circulation. That story's not been told yet. Like I say, 100,000, 5,000 dead, 20,000 recovered. That's 75,000 people in limbo. They can't work because they're sick, got complications. All sorts of things are coming out about it, but there's no big story about those recovering. Because we don't know enough about this damn virus. 20 years' time, we'll know everything about it. But if you look at the figures, just see if you can find a news report that says, today we're going to talk about those people who haven't died, but are recovering. Here's an interview with 100 people. You're not seeing it. It's not happening. You're not seeing the consequences. Some of these people are still in hospital months later. No, they're not on ventilators. They're not in the ICU, but they're terribly ill. That is a story that's been hidden from us. What are the consequences even for young people suffering badly for months? What ongoing medical conditions will people have? And I wish they'd stop calling it a bloody flu, because it ain't. That's the worst thing they could have done, the media, is mention the word pandemic flu, because it ain't a flu. But you start to see everyone start to point fingers at each other. It's your fault. No, it was your fault. No, definitely your fault. China's fault. US fault. UK's fault. Yeah. Prime Minister's fault. Jojo's fault. Yeah, well, Jojo, that's an obvious one. Yeah.
Night Rider.
Hello, Jojo. Then you're starting to hear the conspiracies. It's man-made. It was released by China or the US in China. All these nonsense stories. it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it was a weapon or not. The consequences of what we've got to deal with. The blame game is going to go on for years. There will be trade embargoes against China, without doubt. Which means you might have manufacturing companies restart in your country. That'd be a good thing.
Jojo can go into the hamburger business.
Yeah, I reckon you should do. Just having a 6-foot pole to hand them out to people.
Yeah.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Hamburger business, telling jokes. With every burger you buy, you get a joke. Hey, actually, what have you been doing, Blue? I hadn't seen you around for a while.
Oh, she's probably been in prison, to be honest. Stealing caravans and RVs and got caught. Just kidding. Don't think I've seen Kiwi for a while either.
No, actually, I was just going to ask Blue. There's a few people we haven't seen for a while.
Just get your chin up. Do what you have to do. Be inventive. Think of doing stuff you've never done before.
Write a book.
Like painting a bedroom.
Oh, God. I'd have to paint a mural on the bedroom.
Oh, that's good, Hammers. Yep, I think we should do both of those things, but we should also prepare for the worst. If you don't have to have the consequences of the worst because it's not bad, at least you were prepared. I mean, I'm outside America, Jojo, but it looks very much like the West Coast and the East Coast want nothing to do with the federal government. That's my perception. They don't feel attached, they don't feel the support, and I just watch what I watch. I'm not making up my story, even though there has been a political divide on East and West with the current government. It seems entrenched. But we will get through this. It will take time. But if anyone from the US said to me, we should all be going back to work now, I'd be saying, well, you do what you like, but I think it's stupid. Do it gradually. Build up your workforce. See what happens. Watch for reactions, hotspots. Pull back if you have to. But don't put everyone back to work at once. That's crazy.
Kiwi's probably asleep.
I don't know what time it is. What is the time?
Here it is 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing up, Blue?
She's looking at caravans.
What, with a screwdriver and a hammer? I like this one. Got a nice stripe on it.
She's planting a garden by the moon.
Sounds good. We'll have our fruit trees in on Sunday. Bar one, couldn't get a peach. There's old sayings which cover a lot of this. Like, life was not meant to be easy, but it shouldn't be this hard. But it is at the moment. But it won't always stay that way.
12 a.m.
12 a.m. All right, so only 4 hours.
Oh, you're at your best now. Well, okay.
But countries that worry us, and they're close to us, is Indonesia. They don't tell anyone anything. They fib. They don't tell the truth. And we know they're burying thousands of people. And the official death toll is, I think, 200.
That's impossible. I don't
So-
care what anyone says, even I'm not that stupid.
They did this morning quarantine Jakarta, 25 million people. But they had the camera on. Everyone's going about what they normally do. Oh, quarantine, yes, quarantine. No. Yep, that's dead right. It's the density of population that has caused most of these issues. Hence, the density of a cruise ship, the density of a nursing home. It would suggest, obviously, that spacing between people works. Like saying, we worry because in Jakarta is my wife's sister. And there are millions of people rubbing shoulders with each other.
Cool now. Where's the temp?
21 degrees. Not bad. But no wind. That's why it's not bad. I haven't been able to do my last window, as in scrape, paint and fill on the outside, because my shoulder is sore as buggery. Because I've got
Yeah.
old shoulders.
No, but you were all right doing the other windows. It must be because of the angle.
I really had to work hard on that second window. Yes. Well, if they develop a swab for stupidity, I'm just wondering whether you could count the Americans on one hand that don't show positive. I'm seeing a lot of stupid is what I'm saying, Jojo.
Yeah, but that's not the only country.
No, it's not.
It's just we're hearing about it. A lot of the Asian countries, their stuff's censorship. We don't get the news because then they don't let it out.
Well, the figures of China are nonsense. And I keep hearing these stupid people say, oh, this flu, which is not a flu, you don't get affected during the heat. Really?
Oh, there you are.
Really? Those people need to go and see the statistics. It's all over the world, on the equator, in the coldest parts of the world, in the hottest parts of the world. G'day, Kiwi.
There's lots of fiction out there.
I was just saying to Blue earlier, Kiwi, can you imagine in about 6 months when things quieten down and our countries are going pretty good, that the tourism in New Zealand, you'd be saying, bloody Australians everywhere.
JJ says not another window video. Yep.
No window video.
We're going to do it for Chamo, JJ.
No. You say one window, you say them all.
Oh, I think it's funny.
Yeah, but that's what the Kiwis will be saying, not more bloody Australians. Jeez. Well, Australians like going on holiday, and they're not going to be going overseas, as a rule. They will go to New Zealand. Oh, no harm in trying, Itchy. At least you tried. No, It's got nothing to do with temperature.
No, because
It's got a lot to do with the amount of people dying in regards to their socioeconomic and demographics. Like poor people are dying more because they have terrible health, can't afford health care in lots of countries.
Elbow shave his melon. Huh?
I don't know. You're saying that he shaved his hair. Oh, well, that might be an improvement. He's probably got a head like a fucking orange now.
Oh dear.
Yeah, good idea, Itchy. No, none at all. You will, Shamo. You'll probably be touring Canada with slideshows. Now, this is its window in 1840. Look, see, damage. I'll show you another slide now in 1841. Audience going to sleep.
So he really did shave his head. Is that what you're saying? I'll have to go check that out.
He probably had things living in it.
I mean, how the hell does he get this stuff when he doesn't associate with anyone? I mean, Lice goes around to school.
A master's degree in curtain twitching. Yes.
Oh, curtain twitching. Okay, I need curtains.
Well, if there's one solace in all of this, you are living through history, which should give people a better grounding to value things in the future.
Okay.
Righto. I don't think anyone will be untouched by this. There'll be people you know who have passed away. Could be family members that pass away. And like I said earlier, I've got kids and grandkids who won't live long enough to probably see something like this again, hopefully. But they'll remember this.
Well, I have to, out of curiosity, I've got to go check that out later. The Eye Shrek wrestler.
Pretty sure he's got some sort of skin disorder anyway. So in the past I watched, he was always scratching and like a dog in a veranda.
It's pretty, well, life goes through school. I mean, it's something you get as a kid, because like I said, goes through schools, you can't help it.
Oh, I mean, if you're just unclean all the time, you're going to attract problems, let's be honest.
Actually, that's got nothing to do with it, Lice. They
No,
actually
I
like
mean,
to be on clean hair, believe it or not.
I know, what I'm saying is if you're unsanitary, and you shit in a bag, you have defecation gas going around the vehicle, and then you get stomach problems, and you think, oh, well, how's this happening?
Yeah, other things I agree.
Well-
yeah. Sickness goes that way. Well, it's just people like us who...
Well, I imagine, and I don't watch, but I imagine that there are probably new organ grinders for the same old monkey. Would I be right? It's what normally happens to keep him bouncing along the poverty line.
That's what?
A new organ grinders are out there supporting
Oh.
the fat little monkey dancing. Dance, monkey, dance. It's like a game. Pass the sticks of the dancing monkey onto someone else. Why people get any satisfaction watching someone live a totally derogatory lifestyle, I'll never understand.
Oh, yeah, Blue, that...
I can't.
Yeah.
I was going to do the last window yesterday, Shamo, but my shoulder is really sore because I pushed it. I did a lot of gardening, did the window, lifted stuff. And my shoulder said to me in the morning, what do you think you were doing? What the hell were you think you're doing?
Yeah, but that was a hard window.
I was just stretching and putting extra pressure. But I shall recover.
Yep, that's a good one, Blue. The kids will be safe. Don't tell me you're bored.
The dancing monkey. Someone should do a video explaining that analogy. How do you make the monkey dance? You throw peanuts at the floor. Look at him dance. Mr. Bojangles. Dum, dum, dum. Yes. It's like keeping a pet rat and occasionally throwing a small portion of food. But this pet rat's really big, so he's getting lots of little bits of food. It's a fat rat. Yes, I know, yeah, sort of moments past, I guess, Shemo. It's one of those things in history.
We'll find something else.
I just got a message from Jess saying she ordered 2 planters with a big smiley face tomorrow. Did you give her that guy that we get our
Yes.
cow manure and stuff?
Oh, yeah, you did.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. When we say, back in the day, when I say to my kids, I remember when, but you know, again, it's part of our history. You can't help but sort of say,
Yeah,
what we
let's give it to
did.
Rujek so you can make it into a magical production. But I am pleased on one aspect. Lots of Australians are now growing gardens. Probably through the frustration of boredom of doing nothing, but they are growing food. That's a good thing.
Yep, get that window clean, I know, Chamo. It's just got one more to do. But it's been pretty big.
We'll show you something, Shemo. Nothing to do with the window.
Oh,
Ow, ow, ow. I don't know if you'd see them anyway. We've got a heap of wine barrels. Can you see those? Half wine barrels. That's what the fruit trees are going in. But this is what I wanted to show you. Wife has invited all the fairies over and put out all her solar lights. Yeah, look carefully. You can see the wee little people. So yeah, it's like a landing strip at an airport.
I didn't really see the wine barrel.
Oh look, window.
Clean window.
Yeah, the half wine barrel is going to be full of cow manure, good compost, and a bit of mulch on top when I'm finished.
Yeah, they deliver our alcohol too now, Kiwi. Kiwi says we have alcohol delivery here. Yeehaw! Yeah, I love the wine barrels. So we'll get some more because I'm going to plant roses in them.
You used to give me roses. That's why he doesn't drink anymore. He becomes a wild man. Tears off his shirt.
No, it's fig leaf.
Tears off his shorts.
He
And
tears
all
off-
that's left is anger, sweat, and a fig leaf. That could be your wrestling costume, Shamo.
So you're
In
not,
the blue collar from Canada,
so you're not right.
wearing a very small fig leaf.
Say good night to Night Rider.
Good night. May you be safe.
Oh yeah, probably Kiwi and
And keep positive and keep laughing, Jojo.
yeah. I love you, Jojo. I love you all. Seeds won't say it. Blue and Kiwi, we've nicknamed Chamo Fig Leaf.
It's a long story. In King Chamo's castle.
Is it music?
No, it's a siren.
No, not the siren. Yeah?
No. It's the fairies in the garden.
Oh.
It's a beautiful time of the year in Australia. It's the heat, across my fingers, is gone.
No, you didn't say we've got 2 days coming up.
We've got rain next couple of days, hopefully. But it's not cold, it's not hot, beautiful skies. Best time to visit Australia, and you're not allowed to come. May, June, July, beautiful.
I mean, there's things we're disappointed in, apart from the closeness of the family. That's always obviously the first thing. But the other thing is that we can't do our US trip.
No. There'd just be zombies if we went there now.
We'll just have to go to New Zealand.
Yeah, that's where we're going to be going, I think, Blue. Kiwi. Put on the kettle. I'll bring the Tim Tams.
I'm sure they have Tim Tams over there. We've had nice days. We had a sprinkle the other day. But all up really in the last 12 months, there's been hardly any rain. Not enough.
Just heat.
There's water down there.
Oh, I shall have some. Kettle's on. All going well on Sunday. Probably in the afternoon, about 5 o'clock. When my second-hand Barbie gets it, yeah, I don't mind second-hand stuff. Clean it up. Got a couple of nice bits of steak and some sausages. The wife's going to make potato German salad. And we shall have a feast. Well, maybe not Sunday with all that shit there.
No.
Maybe Tuesday.
Yeah, maybe Wednesday. See how it goes, so we can at least get...
Oh, there's heaps of different flavours. We don't get them that often, actually. Mainly when one of the daughter-in-laws comes around and finds them, they don't last long.
Yeah, the girls.
So you get any more messages from him?
No.
Well, we haven't really had an autumn yet. We're halfway through it, and last week was 103 on one day, about 100 previous day.
Yeah, I noticed that the other day, Timo.
What, is there something to do with privacy, or?
I think it's something to do with YouTube. I went to check someone out that came in the room, as I do, because I'd never seen them before, and I couldn't. So I messaged Butty, and she tried, and she said no. It's all been taken away, which is annoying, actually. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, sometimes Seeds is trying to upload the chat video, and it takes 24 to 48 hours before it's up, yet I actually can go look at it, but at his end it's saying it's not up.
Yeah, that's okay.
And so I think everybody used to like doing that, click on someone's name and check them out. But we can't now.
I do know that people's advertising money will be going down, for sure.
Oh, here you go, Blue explained it. It's a permanent thing now. You need to add the Gotch channel extension onto Chrome. What in the hell is that, Blue? What does that do?
Oh, most of the time we're on our phones and we wouldn't have that. I don't look anyway.
Yes, you do sometimes. I do.
Really? Oh, this is a business. How's the business going, Shamo? Going all right? just on our phones anyway, Blue. Nearly time to turtle off. Anyway, people, keep your chin up and do what you have to do. Be careful, be smart. Didn't have make enough to poop.
No, yeah, we've got iPhone.
Yeah.
We
Look,
use Chrome, our Safari on the phone, automatic, but we've got computers.
Shama,
I'll have a look on the computer.
Shama, I got probably a couple of thousand videos. I don't really know. I can't remember. But a lot of the ones I did years ago were meditation videos. And I get about $30 a month through AdSense. But it's dropping, and I imagine very much why, is that a lot of people are not advertising or limited advertising. So I imagine the big channels getting hundreds, if not $1,000 a month, will notice a significant drop in their income for sure. It's not income for me. We save up during the year, then we give little gifts out at the end. So, charitable organisation, if you like. Non-for-profit. But yeah, so I noticed that it's gone down to about 25. So what's that, about 15, 20%? Someone earning $1,000 a month, that's a lot disappearing. And it will get worse over quite a few times. When I first got monetised was many, many years ago, and I've never put on Super Chat, never asked for donations. But I thought, yeah, I can use that money to give gifts to people. And that's what we've done. And we enjoy that. So that's the only reason I do it. I don't do it for a living. Trust me, I would be a very hungry person if that's what I was living off per month. I've got a few meditation videos with thousands and thousands of views because people will obviously turn it on every night and go to sleep by it. And I did quite a lot a long time ago. I enjoy doing them. I source the sound for them, the pictures. Nah, you can if you like. I can't be bothered.
It's just sometimes because sometimes if someone, like we've had a kid come in the room, and if it wasn't for the fact that I didn't go look at their profile and their channel, you wouldn't have realised, and you can't have kids in there. Your chat at that time wasn't for kids.
No, none of my videos are for kids. And kids don't watch my cooking videos. They're not interested.
Well, plus the way you've got to set your channel up now anyway, what they class as kids, because it's all American law. What is it, 13 or 15?
I don't know what
and
it is.
younger can't, how we click not for children, so I mean it's not that many five-year-olds that'll go, oh, I must go and watch Seed's cooking video.
No.
AC/DC, good band.
Nothing ever happened in Australia except AC/DC. Yeah, fair enough. We don't mind that.
I think I'll go play a couple of games of Yahtzee before bed.
Right. Hammer says spring's coming, which is good. Are you putting in a garden this year, Shamo?
What? This fig leaf garden? I didn't know that.
Well, there's figs. I don't think figs will go that well where he is, actually.
Oh, we found out we can't really grow cherries in our backyard.
Oh, they just don't set because they don't get the cold.
That's right. There's a plant for down south.
Yeah, put it in the garden. Even a bad gardener eats well.
Well, this ground's still frozen.
I would always thought if I lived in Canada, I'd have raised garden beds. That's what I would do. Okay, Claire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Blue.
but you can have a greenhouse. I know that friend of mine, you've seen him in here from time to time, Dive, Canada. He grows in a greenhouse and his crops are magnificent. But he usually uses hydroponics.
Maybe that's why they've done it blue. So that people are more traceable now. Which in one respect isn't a bad thing.
Oh, I think everyone's traceable. If you said something really awful online, no matter
yeah,
where
yeah.
you were, you'd be tracked down.
But some people don't know how to really investigate.
All right, good people. We are going to toodle off.
I was in the middle of a yawn then. Stay safe, love yous, grow a garden, write a book, do a jigsaw puzzle, cook.
Well, you could do other stuff, like, darling, it's very quiet today. Do you think we could? Oh, okay, no. Oh, well, no harm in asking. Anyway, have a great day. Make sure you laugh, make sure you smile, or put a smile on someone else's face at least. Enjoy the day, and we'll get through this. Just a matter of time, being smart. See you, people. Have a good one.